His facial expression is neutral, almost placid. I recognize this person. This is Wasong Sao. The card reads, Manage your health online myhealthonline.sutterhealth.org. Live AI ready. Tap AI button to start describing a new scene.
Today we'll be discussing the EchoVision smart glasses being developed by Agiga. We'll also have demonstrations of its AI capabilities, text reading, and more. Let's do it. Hello everyone, this is Carrie and welcome to another episode of the Epic Ally podcast where we deep dive into tech and accessibility. I'm so excited to share this follow-up interview with Agiga about the EchoVision smart glasses. It aims to be more helpful for the blind and visually impaired community than something like the Meta glasses. It's been a couple months since our last interview and I will link that down below in the description and up in the cards as well if you want to go back and listen to that. Back then in that original interview, it certainly felt more like a concept, something that needed a lot more development. But now, even though it is definitely still in prototype with pre-release hardware and software, I am just so thrilled to have seen the EchoVisions in action. Before we cut to the interview, I think it's important that I share the disclaimer that I pre-ordered this device the end of last year. I purchased it myself. However, I haven't had hands-on with it yet, and this is not an endorsement, neither is Agiga sponsoring this video in any way. However, this video and this podcast is supported by the lovely KOA members. If you would like to support the channel and the work that I do, please consider becoming a KOA member on YouTube or Patreon. It's as little as $3 a month and you get early access to KOA videos, exclusive videos every week, some members only giveaways, and more. You can press the join button on YouTube or check out the links below for more information. Without further ado, let's roll the interview and I will meet you on the other side with some of my thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me again, Sharon and Hosang. This is such a pleasure and very, very anticipated episode and interview, follow-up interview, and really excited to get a demo today. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Carrie.
So it's been about 5 months since our last interview. What's changed? What's new? How is the development?
Yeah, how time flies. 5 months. So, like a big progress we made is we got the hardware and software integrated together. So last time when we show people, we have the hardware prototype and we also have the software prototype. In the last few months, we work with our partner and got this part put together. And we were able to integrate this before CSUN and brought the device to CSUN and demonstrate it to hundreds of attendees who stopped by our booth. We were thrilled to see the reaction people gave.
Yes, I was very disappointed that I could not make it to CSUN, but I was with all of you in spirit.
Thank you.
So,
We asked always when people come to us, they say they watched us and knew us somewhere from the online sources, and we always ask. Many of them say they watched Carrie on accessibility, and that's how they got to know us. So thanks again, Carrie.
That's great. Yes, it has definitely garnered a lot of curiosity and interest from so many people. I'm glad that the hardware and the software is now kind of at a demoing stage. Could you walk us through what the product is like now and the design and everything that's important to the development stage as it is now?
Yeah, so what I'm holding here and wearing also on my face is the same glasses that we showed to CSUN attendees. This will be very close to the end production that we're going to launch and ship. Again, this is regular type looking glasses that medium-sized black color. We have our label Agiga on both sides, and we have these little bit flexible arms. On each side, we have one button that controls different functionalities. We can describe a little bit more later. On one side, which is the left arm, we actually have a touchpad. I'm wearing it on my face. Hopefully, I'm looking good on the camera.
Looks good to me.
Thank you, Carrie. I just described about the hardware. And in terms of functionalities from the software side, what we figured people like most based on CSUN feedback, one is to describe people in really detailed aspects like color, race, and build. We heard people really like the proactive, continuous description in real time. We also heard people like the transit information that we can provide. So all these combining together. Oh, don't forget about the word by word OCR. We actually have a dedicated mode that helps to read some letter, brochure, and a book even. This is word by word reading, which I think surprised many people.
So is that just OCR? Is it aided with AI?
We have a combo model here. We use the so-called latest large language model. We also use some OCR combined with that. There was actually a few questions around whether we support offline when the device is not connected to network. So when we have it connected to the network, we have a little bit better experience. When it's not connected, we have a little bit degraded experience. But we want to at least get OCR enabled during both cases.
Is it just as simple as pressing a button to go ahead and scan a page and have it read, or how is that experience?
We have so-called one button tap or click that tries to figure out the intention of the user without the user asking about anything. If it's a human in front of the glasses camera, it will try to understand the intention is to describe the person. If it's a full page of text, it will try to understand the intention is to read the text. So it has that smartness built in. But if it's one tap click, it will try to read as much as possible, but it can maybe skip things or summarize things. However, if we use a different gesture to go into these dedicated reading mode, you will basically do word by word reading.
I would love to see that demonstrated in a minute. But let's move on to the kind of AI description. So you mentioned describing people. What about just the environment? I'm assuming it can do that as well.
Yes. So I didn't mention that because it's not differentiation that people really highlighted here when we were talking to them and asked what they really like during the demo and trying it out. But yes, of course, we can describe pets, surroundings, my desk, and yeah, everything.
Tell us a little more about the proactive continuous description.
This is an idea similar to one tap description. We will heard the feedback that many times people don't want to continuously prompt the glasses to answer questions or identify things around them. That's why we made it more proactive. So without a user really engaging with the glasses continuously describe the things around the user. As the user walk along a path, things might change, and the glasses will try to capture what's new and what's the same in that environment and try to describe continuously, nonstop to whoever is wearing the glasses.
Is that through video or capturing just images over and over again?
Implementation wise, I hope this is less relevant to our user. We just want to make the user experience good. So it's between video and continuous image capture. We are still tuning some of these frequency and data that we upload. So the goal is to make it not relevant to the user, so the user doesn't need to care whether it's video or continuous images in certain frequency. The goal is to provide experience that the user actually can feel there's nothing non-similar. So it's
I
similar
see.
experience that we try to provide.
Hmm.
So to add, just to add a little bit, video is built upon images, and we humans see it as video because the image are changing continuously. We don't see the obvious scene change
Mhm.
because when they refresh the frame at a frequency of higher than 24 frames per second, human eyes won't be able to recognize that. And for us, when we do the live mode, our goal is to make sure the AI is able to tell the difference from one scene to another. And the frequency might be different than how a human perceives things. Uh, and we think this is something like people don't need to care too much about as long as we provide a smooth experience.
Can you tell the AI to keep an eye out for something specific? Say you're waiting for a ride and waiting for a car. Like, are you able to ask it to watch out for a car and it let you know, or not quite yet?
This is a request we got from Samsung. Things like, okay, tell me when you see a door, or tell me when my ride arrives. We did not demo it at Samsung, but we do plan to incorporate this request into our future feature. Maybe we can show you in next demo.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. All right. So, is there anything else that you want to share that's relevant to like the development, anything behind the scenes before we dive into a demo?
I do want to add a couple hardware features that we got positive feedback to. Let me show a couple of these. One is that I'm holding the glasses, and on the other hand, I'm holding a clip on. So the sunglass shade is a thin layer that has sunglass layer on top, and these can be magnetically attached to the glasses. So it's easy on and off for transition between indoors and outdoors.
All wearables has a challenge of being able to provide a long battery life versus balance the weight of the product. And Meta had this challenge of battery life is only 4 hours at full charge, and we have this too. Our battery life is actually longer by design. We can provide 6 hours continuous normal use. Uh, Still, we know people want to wear the full day, and even when they are doing some heavy usage, they want to be able to make sure it can be stable, connected, and it will not run out of battery in the middle of the huge usage. So we provided this option is you can connect this to a USB-C cable and then connect to a power bank, a portable power bank, or even connect to your phone so
Mhm.
that you can use the glasses while it's getting charged.
That is great. I can't tell you how many times with the Meta glasses I have to put it back in its case and wait for it to charge. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love the case that it,
Mhm.
has a
Yes,
way to charge it in there. But there are just times where I just want to keep using it and I have
yes.
to charge it first.
We will
I
have the charging case, but along that, we provided this option. You can charge it while you use it.
Did you say that you still have a charging case and you can do this?
Yes.
Oh, that is brilliant. How does it plug in? I see that it's at the end of the arm. Is there a flap or
Is
how does
the
that work?
regular USB-C cable that I'm holding on my right hand arm,
Mhm.
and on the right arm of the glasses, it's basically the uh, recipient side of the USB-C cable. I
Mhm.
plug in like this. Yeah,
So is that just an open port all the time?
it is an open port, but this is again our not end product. This is our engineering sample. So the end product can probably come with some silicone cover there.
Okay, that might be good just in case if you're out in the rain or something happens, to just keep dust and everything out of it. That may be a good idea to have one of those little charging port flaps.
But we have the waterproof grade is IP45, which means the regular water splash on it is okay. You can't you can't sink it in the pool or in the
Mhm.
bathtub. But see, like if it's just like raindrop and you're wearing outside, don't worry about it. The USB-C port is fine under that situation.
That is very, very good to know. Let's stop. Maybe do a little less talking, and we would just love to see the EchoVisions at work. So, Hassan, whenever you're ready with a
Cool.
demo, we'd love to see. It doesn't matter which one you start with. Just walk us through anything that you're pressing, etc.
Great. So I'm gonna do a quick test if this still works by double tapping the button that engages it. I think I heard a dong dong sound, which
Yes.
means it just stopped by itself. That means it's still working. I'm holding the glasses facing myself. This is trying to demo a case that it captures a person in front and can describe the person. So what I'm gonna do is press the button, the AI button on the right hand side of the arm, and it should basically capture what's in front. With a little bit processing time, it will start describing myself. Let's do it. One, two, three. Was there a sound at all?
No,
No.
I didn't hear a sound.
I'm gonna press again.
Yeah, there's some.
A young adult man of East Asian descent with a medium skin tone, dark brown eyes, and short black hair. He appears to be of average build. He wears dark rimmed glasses. His expression is relaxed and pleasant, with a slight smile playing on his lips.
Do you want to try again? I don't see the a recognized person yet.
Yeah, so Carrie, I think that describes the person in front of the
Mhm.
glasses. What Sharon is a little bit surprised is that this actually has face matching functionality, and it didn't really recognize my face. Maybe I
Oh.
look a little bit different today, but when we were demoing in CSUN for maybe 80% plus time, it can actually capture myself correctly and describe who I am.
Mhm, mhm. That's really cool. Uh, would you mind just trying it one more time and maybe seeing if it
Yeah,
recognizes you?
maybe I'll try a different angle.
Maybe a
Because
little further away.
yeah, the lighting can change a little bit. I'm holding the glasses a little bit away from myself, and I'm gonna try again to let it capture myself.
A middle aged man of East Asian descent with light olive skin and dark brown eyes peers directly into the camera. He wears dark rimmed glasses. His black hair is short and neatly styled. He appears to be of average height and build. His facial expression is neutral, almost placid. I recognize this person. This is Wasong Sao, CTO of Agiga Inc.
Yeah. So the algorithm of recognizing person is still to be improved, but roughly 60 to 80% we can recognize the person.
Yeah. It would be really nice if that was kind of at the beginning, if you're just moving around and
Mm,
instead of listening to the whole description, maybe
Mm.
you've heard it before, but you want to know who it is and it's
mm,
recorded. That would be great. But yeah,
mm.
that's really cool. I love the amount of description that it provided. That's awesome.
Thank you. So next we can try the reading. So I'm gonna change the glasses to the one that I used to do the testing. So I'm holding a business card that we got from a medical center. Basically, has the contact information, email, and phone number. So I'm gonna ask the glasses to. Basically, I'm gonna one tap to trigger the glasses to try to read the card. Because I'm holding the card in front of the glasses, the glasses should already know my intention. Let's try it.
The card reads, Manage your health online. myhealthonline.sutterhealth.org. Contact 866-978-8837. Email myhealthonline@sutterhealth.org.
What is the phone number on the card?
The phone number on the card is 866-978-8837.
Right. So I just demoed the second piece, which is I can ask a follow-up question, or at the beginning, I can start by asking a question about the card I'm holding or the scene that I'm trying to get the glasses to describe.
It sounds like it's automatically waiting for a question. Is that right?
Right. So at the very beginning, I engaged by tap the glasses once. Again, the AI button, I clicked it. After the question, we'll try to prompt the user by give a bing bing sound, and the user hear that sound and can ask a follow-up question. Alternatively, the user can engage the same AI button by longer pressing it, and then hear the same prompt sound and ask a question.
Oh, okay. How do you stop it? So say it read the card, it went bling to waiting for you to ask a question, but you don't want to ask a question. Do you just
Right.
press it one more time?
So there's a timeout, and also there's a double tap gesture that we have today. Some of the gestures we are still fine tuning based on feedback. So for demo purpose, it's double tap to stop it today. But tomorrow, if we figure out something that's more natural, we might adopt that.
Understood. Okay. Okay. And just for clarity, double pressing the button, you
Yeah,
meant?
double
Okay.
pressing the same button that we use to trigger to ask questions.
Got it.
Yeah, so this is one thing I wonder if Huasong emphasized at the beginning. I think one big difference from the hardware is we have this dedicated AI button, and you can have all this behavior around it, like scene description, live, or ready mode, or start or stop. So this is dedicated AI button.
Yes. How do you engage the live?
So we have these three button press that we engage the live today. Again, we are basically testing different gestures, and
Okay.
tomorrow there might be easier gesture for these. And alternatively, we might be open these for customization for the user to do too. So today, for demo purpose, is three button click continuously to trigger the live, but tomorrow it can be something better.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Shall we engage the live and try to describe my desk and my
Yes.
surroundings?
Yes, definitely.
Cool. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3.
Live AI ready. Tap AI button to start describing a new scene.
Right. So I'm gonna right now for demo purpose, I'm gonna use the tab instead of really voice interaction to let it try to describe. And please note, it will continue to describe without me engaging anything.
Okay. There are two computer monitors on a desk. On the left monitor, there is a video call with 4 participants. Below the left monitor is a phone on a stand, displaying a closer view of one of the call participants. On the desk, there are also a keyboard, a container, a couple of small boxes, and a pair of eyeglasses. The scene remains mostly the same. There are two computer monitors, with a
Okay,
video
so it's
call
still
on the
describing
left
because
one.
I was looking at the
Below
same
it, a
thing.
phone on a stand shows
Now
a
I'm
closer view of one of the call
hopefully you can still
participants.
hear me
On
clearly.
the
I'm
desk, you have a
turning
keyboard,
my
a
head
container,
over to
small
my window.
boxes, and other
And
objects.
once it
Nothing
finished
appears to
describing
have
the previous
moved.
thing, it should catch up and yeah, it should.
The scene shows a brightly lit window with blinds. Below the window, there is a shelf with numerous small figurines displayed on top. The room is somewhat dark, with some posters on the walls. The light from the window makes the room partially silhouetted.
And now I'm turning my head again back
The scene
towards the
remains similar to
monitors.
the previous one.
And
There is a window
it's
with
still describing the
blinds,
previous
and
thing
a
because it
shelf
was
underneath it that
trying
holds
to
a
capture
collection
the
of
previous
small
thing
figurines.
before I
There are
moved my head.
posters on the walls, and the
Could you
room
pick up the
appears to
box
be dimly
or the
lit.
container?
A small, round light can be seen
I
in the
can
upper right corner.
start holding this bottle of water.
Okay, The scene
Okay.
shows a desk with two computer monitors, one on the left displaying a picture. There is also a laptop on the
And
right
in
side.
order, if
The
I
keyboard is
change
visible in the lower
promptly
center,
with
along
something
with
that
a
I
hand
really
reaching
wanted to
for an
catch up,
object near the center
I'm
right of the
gonna
desk.
trigger
There are
that
other
by
items
force
such as
the
small
button
boxes
again.
and bottles scattered around. The scene shows a desk with two computer monitors. The left monitor displays a video call with four participants. A hand is holding a water bottle in front of the desk, and a keyboard is visible on the desk.
Cool.
Okay, let's pause it. Now that was
The
kind of
reason,
hard to hear you and what it was
oh,
saying at
okay.
the same time. That's totally fine. So, if I understood correctly, you said you can press the button again to kind of make it catch up to what's going on
Yes,
right now. Is that right?
right. Yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, we heard feedback that some of the description is too long, and people already moved on to next thing, so they want to hear what's latest. So we made it possible by pressing that button.
Yes, I think that that is so helpful. That's something that all of the live AI kind of struggle with right now. Like, stop describing that and continue, do something else. Now, can
Mhm.
you, in that mode, are you able to still ask questions?
We don't have that enabled here because during the demo, it's kind of my description goes on with that description. When it hears my voice, it will think it's actually a question instead of me describing things.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have that enabled on these classes right now. But
Okay, okay. Well,
yeah,
that's understandable, but it does have that capability.
right. It does have that capability, and there are things we are fine tuning. For example, how soon it actually captures my question related to which thing it tries to describe. So that's some fine tuning we're still doing, but we already have that functionality in terms of voice QA.
Does it work a little bit like ChatGPT Gemini where you can interrupt its
Yes,
description? Oh, okay,
yes.
okay. Now, is it able to remember something from the same conversation or from the same live session?
Good question. I haven't tested this myself, but if I ask something, for example, the use case we mentioned, if we ask it to let us know when there's a door in front, or I'm actually scanning through different peer bottles and let me know there's a tiny node there. This is the goal we are trying to achieve, but I haven't really tested this case myself. That use case
Mhm.
is in our plan to make it happen.
So, for example, something that I would think of is say you were in that live session
Mhm,
and you came across a poster or something that had text, right? And
mhm,
maybe it had a phone number or an address, but it read that to you, but later you've already passed it.
mhm.
It would be great to be able to say, what was that phone number again? Something like that.
Yeah, I like that use case, and the description you had made me remember the Gemini demo of the uh, glasses that they have. So we are using all these latest and advanced models, and we are basically adding our thin layer on top. I believe because of the advanced model we are using, they can remember things in the same session and remind us of those. But again, I haven't tested this myself. It made me very curious to test them and get back to you.
All right, now for the OCR, switching gears a little.
Mhm.
So, when you took the picture, it took the picture, it read it, you asked a follow up question. Did it have to take another picture or did it just remember the image previously?
Right. In the specific case that I demoed, it didn't take another picture. Right now, we kind of have fixed way of forcing it to take a picture by just pressing that button again. But we are
Mhm.
making this a little bit more smart. So based on the context, it should already figure out whether it needs a new picture or not. We're trying to make it more smart, but we also want to leave that control to the user to have. So at the end of the day, we can't achieve 100% accuracy of figuring out the intent of the
Yes.
user. But yeah.
Mhm. Definitely. in our previous interview, you mentioned a possibility of like a companion app for the phone. Is that still something that you're planning on?
Yeah, we still plan to have the companion app. Actually, that's pretty much the only time you need to use a phone is to use this companion app to set up the glasses.
Hmm.
So while there are two folds of it, first, if you really want to use the glasses on its own without having to attach to the phone, you could do that. After the initial setup using the companion app, and after the glasses is connected to the home Wi-Fi, you can take off the phone. You can take away the
Hmm.
phone. Say you set this up for your grandma, and you took your phone away. After that, the grandma is good to use the glasses on its own with the home Wi-Fi without any problem. But on the other side, some people like to use the glasses as a Bluetooth device. And while connected to the phone, you can listen to music, you can do phone calls. In that way, yeah, you definitely can do that. All the basic feature you have with Meta Ray-Ban glasses, we have that as well.
Awesome. Are you able to ask it questions that are internet based? So, for example, like what time is it? What is it like converting different units of measure, like centimeters to feet or Fahrenheit to Celsius, things like that?
Right. Time, we are still implementing it. We're just going to get the time from the phone and actually the devices, but we are still working on that. It's straightforward, but it takes a little bit more time. We just didn't prioritize that. Regarding converting units, let's try it. So I'm going to ask a question about temperature conversion. What's 35 Celsius in Fahrenheit? Actually, one sec. What's 35 Celsius in Fahrenheit? I don't think it heard it correctly. One sec, let me try one more time. If it doesn't work, I need to figure. I haven't tried this myself, so because Carrie asked, I really like to try it.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure it stops. What's 35 Fahrenheit in Celsius? Uh, as a matter of fact, I don't think it worked. So it actually should tell me something, but I don't think it worked
Mhm.
to tell me something. So
Yeah,
thanks for.
it's brave to show something in the show, something I never tried before.
So Carrie, those two cases, we're gonna make sure it works, and we can actually come back to you and really demo those cases you asked.
Sure. That would be great. Even just internet, like what it does CSUN stand for? Something like that. I wonder if it can
Mhm.
do that type of thing as well. Are you able to ask it hands free without pressing any buttons?
Yeah, we're going to implement wake word detection, and in that way, you totally just activate it by voice, and you interact with voice. That's basically the whole purpose of having these glasses, right? You can do it hands free. So there are two reasons we did not activate it yet. First, the algorithm are still in final tuning, especially for the wake word detection,
Mhm.
because it has to be like, hey, Agiga, or like EchoVision is our customized wake word. We're still developing this. Second, during CSUN, but not only CSUN, but in lots of environment, people like to have this button controlled way, so that
Yes.
it's definitely work. That it definitely work. It's reliable. It's not susceptible to the environment noise, or you don't feel awkward to have to speak out loud in a quiet environment.
hmm Definitely. What about the integration with other apps? Is it available yet? And which apps do you have integration with?
So we have both Aira and Be My Eye available with the glasses. There's various another apps we actually have in mind and a lot of requests for different integrations. We are prioritizing them, but Aira and Be My Eyes are the top ones in that request queue, and we already have them.
Oh, that's great. So I am assuming that you can just, it's only for a volunteer for Be My Eyes, not Be My AI?
Correct. We think there's duplicated functionality
Mm,
between what we have in the classes already
yeah.
and Be My AI. So as long as we can serve the need, we don't have to use Be My AI.
Okay, yes, that makes sense. What about for Ira and Be My Eyes? How do you set that up on the app, and that's how you do it? Also, how do you bring it up? Like, how do you bring it up in the classes?
Basically, we trigger and ask it to call volunteer
Mm,
or call agent. And before we can do that, we do need to set it up in terms of logging, and that requires a companion app on the phone.
okay. Is there any way you could show us the volunteer? Like, just even if you let it ring, not necessarily, you
Yeah,
know. Yeah. Carrie from the future here. I just wanted to take a quick pause. During our recorded interview, the Be My Eyes and Aira integrations were not working, but Hosong did send me this demonstration video with Aira.
this is to demo calling Aira. So I'm gonna long press the same air button and ask the glasses to call Aira. Call Aira agent.
Calling Aira.
I'm gonna face another side of my desk.
Hey, thank you for Julie. What would you like to do today?
Hey, this is Huasong. Thanks for answering my call. I'm testing my device. Would you help describe what's in front of me?
Sure. Okay, I can see a desktop or a tabletop with two keyboards upon it, with a stand off to the right-hand side of the edge of it, with a laptop on that stand, and then a large size monitor at the back side of the desk.
Cool.
And the desk is white, and I see several other desktop accessories on the tabletop.
Thank you. I stole a Pokemon card from my 11-year-old. Would you be able
And can
to?
you hear me okay on your end?
Yes, I can hear you okay. Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
You
Yeah, there's a little bit of some uh, almost like an echo happening, and it's a little bit rough sounding.
okay? If you can hear me okay, would you be able to describe this Pokemon card for me? I just stole it from my kid.
Okay, I see it is green in color. May I take a snapshot of it to zoom in on the text?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, I'm just waiting for that picture to come up.
Sure.
It is being super, super slow. I apologize.
No worries.
But it is like a lime green colored card, and the picture at the top has a black and blue background, and
Mhm.
it appears that there's a character in the center. And I was just trying to clear the picture up to see it.
Mhm.
Oh, here we go. And it says Toad Scroll is the name at the top.
Mhm.
And I see it has eerie tentacles and triple smash down at the bottom, listed on the card. And in the upper right hand corner of the card is the number 120.
Mhm.
And this character appears to be maybe like a sea creature in the ocean. It looks almost like a squid or an octopus type of creature.
Mm. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Hosang also sent me a video where he demonstrated the transit capabilities with the EchoVisions. Here's how that is.
This is to demo transit questions. I'm going to long press the same button, AI button, to trigger a question. How do I get to Union Square from San Francisco International Airport?
Take the subway from San Francisco International Airport at 3:37 p.m. on the Red N line. You will arrive at Powell Street Station at 4:04 p.m. From there, walk to Union Square.
Those are some of the demonstrations he sent later. Now back to the rest of the interview. Are there any other features that you want to show or talk about?
Yes, so I was gonna also demo these dedicated reading mode. So it kind of reads a longer text word by word.
Okay.
So the gesture today, for demo purpose, we have a 4-button click to get it into reading mode. This reading mode is more for word by word reading. This is one example of what I'm going to ask the glasses to read. It's kind of a poster of our EchoVision glasses in season time. Now I'm going to 4 times press and trigger this.
Ready to read. Tap AI button to start a new page. EchoVision, smart glasses for the blind and low vision community. Experience independence with AI-powered assistance. Reads text aloud. Describes your surroundings. Remote assistance at your fingertips. Pre-order now. EchoVision. Agiga.ai. Phone 408-9-405-215. Email contact@agiga.ai. Made by AGIGA, empowering vision beyond sight. Next page.
This is the next page I'm going to ask it to read, which is my son's school event.
Attention parents, congratulations, your child is participating in the San Jose Sharks Stick to Fitness program, powered by Kaiser Permanente. In addition to healthy living instruction, hockey instruction, and a donation of gear to your child's location, we also want to let you know that your child is eligible for free skating throughout the year. These offers include free skating rentals at the Sharks Ice family of rinks, San Jose, Fremont, and Oakland, free game tickets, and more. To be notified of free offers, including free skating, please register at S.
Okay, I'm going to stop there for demo purpose.
That is awesome. I really like it. I see how you get into the mode and then you can just press it once to go to the next page. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So this is similar to live mode, but it's made dedicated for reading, and it's gonna be available for voice interaction too. I can say continue, things like that, but well, we disabled that for demo purpose,
Mhm.
and we allow the user without saying anything use the same button to continue, pause, things like that.
I love it. No, I wish there was a mode. I'm not sure which mode this would be, but something that could you could say specifically what you want it to read. So, for example, um, I often go to the library with my son, and something that I struggle with is I just want to hear the book titles, and then not the text of like there's random flyers everywhere. And so I kind of want to hone in on like a specific thing, or maybe if it's a game, I just want you to read just the subtitles of what people are saying, specific text. And that would be a really cool implementation in the future, to be able to give it like a constraint for its
Right.
reading.
Oh, it's a great
Yeah,
idea.
definitely. I feedbacks like these are actually what we want to hear more. So thank you, Carrie. And I believe with your channel, we can actually hear more people talking about different needs. We need to prioritize, but we've
Yes,
been
absolutely.
hearing, yeah, needs like this.
So, Sharon, could you go over the pre order and how long that's going? How much is it? and um, how it relates to the subscription. I know when we spoke last time in our interview, you mentioned those who pre-order get an lifetime free subscription. So could you share that with us?
Sure. So the pre-order is still ongoing, and for people who do pre-order, they still get the final product with a discounted price, which is $449 versus $599, which is a full price. The deposit is $449 as well. And for people who pre-order right now, we still have this promotion is you get this lifelong free subscription. And we don't know how long it lasts. And also we ship by the order we received. So if you're interested, act on it soon. The shipping date right now is still looking forward to the summer. However, like with the season feedback, we may make a small adjustment on the industrial design of the glasses. If we decide to do that, that may push the final date a little bit further. Uh, but if that happens, well, communicate with people who pre-ordered. You can decide you want to keep it or not.
Okay, that's great. And if you could also maybe in your newsletter let people know when that
Yes.
is the pre-order unlimited or lifetime subscription is kind of running out, that would be also great. I know a lot of people are very interested with that information.
Yes, if there will be an end to that, we'll make announcement ahead of time.
Okay.
And also, for people who are listening to Carrie's show right now, we would love to offer a special promotion. With this promotional code, you can get extra $20 off of the final product on top of the pre-order discount. You can use the code Carrie, CARRIE, uh, to order on EchoVision.Agiga.ai to get the extra $20 off.
And those are for people who are making new pre-orders. Just
Yes,
to
in your pre-orders.
just to clarify that.
Yes.
We had mentioned in the previous interview that you'll be able to, or people will be able to order prescriptions and different types of lenses. How will that be handled? Will that, I'm assuming that's when it's ready to ship, is when we provide that info.
Yes, that's a great question. Lots of people ask about this. So right now, the pre-order is a deposit that secure you the promotional device and lifelong free subscription. And before we ship the final product, which is a month before the shipping date, we will ask you for your shipping address and your selection of lenses and selection of other accessories if you need. For example, if you have prescription lenses or you want a special tinted lens, you can request that at that time.
So I'm assuming that after it's ready to ship,
Uh-huh.
that's when you'll also charge and the people can order those prescription lenses and magnetic clip-ons or other
Yes.
accessories.
Yes, for this extra, we will charge people before the ship,
Understood.
and when they arrive at the same time.
Are there any customizations, say size or color, things like that on the actual device?
Right now, we have one default color, which is black. We're
Okay.
also thinking of rolling out more colors. The hard decision is what the second color or what the third, if we're going to have the third. Some people say they like red, pink, blue,
Mm.
brown. So I think the challenging part is like too many colors to choose from. We haven't decided what's the second color yet. I love uh, your follower to discuss in your common zone, and I'll come back check what people preference on that.
It's definitely harder to create different devices with different colors, but one thing that you could think about is maybe those magnetic
Uh-huh,
clip-ons could
uh-huh.
be the one that you customize, like with different colors and not just tint. So
Oh,
that's another idea.
oh, that's a great idea too. Yeah. And for size, right now we're letting people try the medium size, but because of manufacturer, the handmade process is actually more towards the large. Uh, but this is the part we can definitely fix. And for the future products, we're also considering a smaller size to fit people with smaller faces.
I think those are all the questions that I have. I know we've been here for quite a long time. I'm just so thrilled that you both came on and we had this follow-up interview and got some of these live demos. So I really appreciate all your time.
Thank you.
Same here, Carrie.
I'm sure that we'll have you back on in another few months, especially maybe when it launches. So that wraps up the interview. I think the EchoVision smart glasses, this is my own opinion, I think these are really promising. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I pre-ordered this back last year and I just cannot wait to get these in, test them, try them out in the wild, see how it actually does, because I don't know because I haven't actually had a chance to really use them, but I think that this could be so much better than the Meta glasses, because right now the Meta glasses is still helpful for me, but it can be so frustrating, whether it's because it loses battery and I have to put it in the charger, or just look and tell, just can be difficult to prompt sometimes. I love the form factor of the EchoVisions. They look very discreet. They look like just glasses, very similar to the Meta Ray-Bans. Unless you really know what to look for, or unless you're familiar with smart glasses, you won't even notice. I also really like that it has more functions than just accessibility. You know, you can use it for AI, reading, etc. But if you just want to listen to your phone, you can. If you just want to use your phone, that's great. But you can use this without a phone. Like, I don't know if I've seen a device like that yet in the accessibility space. You can connect it to Wi-Fi or whatnot, and maybe you just want to have it for accessibility, and maybe you have like earbuds or something else that you want to connect to your phone for some reason. You know, that's totally valid. You could do that. It just gives more choice, and I am all for it. I also think that these are the most affordable pieces of assistive tech. I did ask about the subscription, how much would it be, and they don't know yet. I tried to get a price range, but they're not able to give me a number yet. I am slightly worried about it because of live AI. That can be quite pricey. Okay, ChatGPT for $20 a month, you get what around 5, 10, 15 maybe ish minutes a day for live AI, and if you want more, you have to pay $200 a month. So that's, you know, I don't know where we are on the spectrum. So that does concern me. The biggest reason I pre-ordered is because I really wanted that lifetime $0 subscription. I do understand the need for a subscription though, because oh my goodness, AI tokens are expensive. AI right now is extremely expensive. And so I, especially as, you know, a smaller startup, they need to at least cover their costs, and it does cost every single time that you query AI. Let's address AI hallucinations. They say that they are working on minimizing that, increasing accuracy. So that will just have to be tested in when we have it to see how well it actually does in the real world. The reading looks so solid, really fast. I first of all, I like that there's the AI. It can detect kind of your intent, whether you're trying to get a description or trying to read. That's really cool, but you can also have that dedicated reading mode. I will just be using that. I cannot wait to use that. Like, I'm just gonna read a book. I just want to like pretend that I'm reading, hold a physical book in my hands and like read. I cannot wait for the day that I can actually do that. That'd be awesome. When it comes to privacy, they are going to be very transparent, they said. I asked about it, and you'll be able to, say if you want to save your history or not, and you, as the user, have control over that. So that's good to know. One quick note about the facial recognition and descriptions. I actually really like this. I think that anything that somebody who is sighted has access to, that can see, I want to have access to that too. So I really liked the description that it gave. I think it's fantastic that they have a charging case and you can charge it while using the device at the same time. Overall, I am very excited for this product. I think it is my most anticipated device of 2025, whether mainstream or assistive tech. Let me know what you think in the comments. How do you think they can improve? What do you think about the magnetic clip-ons, things that you're excited for, things you're worried about, concerned about? I would love to hear about it, and I know Agiga will be checking out the comments as well, because they do want more feedback. That's it for now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe for more content like this, and if you want to help support the channel and the work that I do, please consider becoming a COA member on YouTube or Patreon. It really helps the channel out and all the work that I do to make these videos happen. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next one.